Hey class, this is Professor Faulkner. I wanted to take a moment to just stop in and commend you on a great first couple weeks of class. Most of you are doing an amazing job, and I'm really proud of what you are doing, of the work you're doing. I want to take a moment to lay out the importance of what you are doing. Another historian once said to me about the 19th century in church history in America that we are swimming in the soup that they created. And if that was true about the 19th century for the American church, it's definitely true about the church fathers. Most of what we believe today as Christians was formed in the early centuries. In fact, everything that we believe as orthodoxy about the Trinity was laid down for us by these men and women. Specifically, as you read, Basil, but also Gregory of Nyssa, Gregory of Nazianzus, who some of you read and referenced, and John Chrysostom. Philip Schaff, who actually is the editor of the volumes of the Church Father readings that you've been doing, the original editor, back in the 1840s, put forward what he called the doctrine of development. And what the doctrine of development teaches is that church history and all that happens within church history is guided by the Holy Spirit. And he says this is still true today, but it's especially true about the early fathers. The Spirit wanted us to be able to think rightly about about the Trinity and about the sacraments. And so there's a reason things developed in the church the way that they did. And the Spirit today is trying to draw us back into that kind of deep worship, those deep prayer-led worship, that you still see modeled in places like the Anglican Church, the Eastern Orthodox, and even, yes, the Roman Catholic Church. These liturgical prayers, this development of theology that happened with these men and women in the early church, laid the foundation and was guided by the Holy Spirit. And so it's so important that we read these writings. It's so important that you read Basil's letter 38. It's important that you read his work on the Holy Spirit. And I would encourage you to continue to read on the Church Fathers. Like I said, Philip Schaff has edited these many volumes. Now, the edits are a little outdated. This was done in the 1840s and 50s. But they're still very valuable to us because it puts in our language the writings of the Church Fathers in a way that we can read them today. And so I encourage you, go to your local library. You can probably find this at maybe library. I don't know. Hopefully you can. But there are 13 volumes of this edits of the Church Fathers. And go ahead, take a read. Read any of these guys. Sidney of Poitiers is very good. Hippolytus lays out a theology of death that is very important to our understanding of death today. And if you have a chance, the other thing you could do is pick up an Anglican prayer book. And the reason I say that is because not only were these men doing theology and being guided by the Holy Spirit in how to rightly think about the Trinity, but they were also being encouraged to pray, and their prayers were written down for us. In fact, every morning at the end of our morning prayer, Anglicans say a prayer by John Chrysostom. So these prayers are still being prayed today and being used in the worship of the church today. And so we really do swim in the soup that they made for us. So I hope that as we move on to medieval theology, that you'll continue to read the Church Fathers, that you'll go back beyond beyond Augustine to Basil to Chrysostom, all the way back to Polycarp and Irenaeus and men like that. Because again, they help us think about the scriptures and about right teaching, and they have done the work so that we don't have to today. Keep up the good work, guys, and I look forward to leading you through the medieval section and continuing on.